Well, good evening. How are you? I hope you are really well. And thank you for dropping by to listen to me for a few minutes. I hope you've had a beautiful day today. Hasn't the weather been fab? So for those of you that don't know, my name is Laura Evans, and I'm the founder and lead trainer here at Unleash Your Potential, the NLP training company helping people like you to unleash their potential in business and life. And today I wanted to do a short live to talk about indecision. So do say hello if you are joining me this evening. It's going to be a little bit of a Laura ramble, I guess, for want of a better phrase. So good evening to those of you that are joining. The weight of indecision. Now, this has come up several times in the last couple of weeks in various different guises from various different people. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had a delegate of ours, or potential delegate of ours, I should say, that was indecisive about whether or not she was going to train with us. She was assessing our courses against other providers and looking at the pluses for us and where she would train and all those things. And later on this month into next month, I'm going to produce a PDF to help people make decisions about NLP courses. But that's not the point of my live tonight. But I witnessed over the space of about 2 weeks, this lady go through quite a lot of turmoil, to be fair, around trying to make this decision. Now, when you're trying to make a decision, sometimes it can feel like it is the weight of the world is on your shoulders. I mean, let's be realistic about this. Choosing an NLP training provider is not a life or death decision, right? Obviously, I'd love you to join us for all the reasons that you probably already know, but it really isn't a life or death situation. But do you know what? Sometimes when you're going through a period of indecision, that's how it can feel. Even the smallest of decisions, while you're in that phase of not being able to make a decision, it feels massive. And, you know, I spoke to this lady on the phone a few times, and Lynn spoke to this lady on the phone a few times, and she was like, do you know what? I really like, this is a big deal. And I want to make the right decision. Totally understand that. But she had this real weight to the situation. Now, if you can relate to this weight of indecision, then let me know in the comments. You don't have to let me know the specifics, but hi Amy, nice to see you. Hi Kalita, nice to see you. Hi Catherine, nice to see you as well. But if you can relate to the weight of indecision, you'll know like it feels really heavy, right? You know, some even describe it like as a micro stress, because that's exactly how it can feel. And this feeling of indecision like ruminates, right? And if you've ever experienced indecision, you'll know what it's like. You know, if it goes on for a few hours, for a few days, or something like that, it just becomes like this mountain that you have to climb. And not only that, but there'll be an area of your life where you're looking to make a decision, but it will often spill over and affect other areas of your life. Let me give you another example. This week, I have challenged my master practitioner mastermind group. So some of you will know that I mentor and have group coaching with a small number of our master practitioners. And I set them a challenge, which is why I'm live tonight, for them to go live every day for 5 days. And one of the master practitioners said today, do you know what? I should have done the live this morning because, do you know what? All day, it's been bugging me. And actually, I should have just got on because it ruminated all day. And she's having time off with her nieces and her nephews. And I know this lady particularly well. And I know that will have played on her mind all day. And this indecision potentially has impacted not only her day, but it also impacted on her private life, impacted on her time with her family, because I know she'd have spent all day distracted because she's like, oh, I've got to do a Facebook Live. Oh, I've got to do a Facebook Live. Oh, I've got to do a Facebook Live. And this is how indecision and the weight of indecision plays on our minds. So Amy, hi Amy, nice to see you. Amy's saying it does feel heavy, but you often don't notice the heavy until the weight is lifted. Do you know what? Actually, I think you're right. Sometimes it's like a real sense of relief, right? Like when you've made a decision. Some of you that follow me on my personal page will know that I'm in the process of going through a house buying process. And I went to the house this afternoon to measure up for a wardrobe, which I did with one of my best mates. I'm now having to make decisions about like curtains and flooring. Like that's a heavy weight. I'm like, right, I could be moving into this house in a few weeks' time, and like, what's going to be on the floor? So this indecision is something that I think a lot of us experience in areas of our lives. And thank you, Amy, for commenting. And if anybody else is watching and you can relate to this, give me some hearts, give me some thumbs, or comment and let me know. Because I think it's like one of the things that really plays on your mind. I mean, I talk in the training room about people should stop shoulding all over themselves. And it's a bit of a joke that we have in the training room. We say, that's a great description about how it feels worse to put things off. Yeah, isn't it? Now, in the training room, those of you that have trained with me that will know, that I say to people, stop shoulding all over yourself. Like, a lot of people try to motivate themselves to make a decision to do something. They're going, oh, well, I really should make X decision. And maybe that's something that, in the grand scheme of things, is insignificant. I should go to the gym, or I should clean the house, or I should clean the car, or I should take the kids out, or whatever. And I think sometimes, we try to motivate ourselves to make these decisions, like through like almost an external force. Like, who says you should go to the gym, take the kids out, clean the car, blah, blah, blah. And I say to people, do you know what? You're much better off making a decision and being happy you've made a decision. So many people ruin a Sunday, for example, because they sit there going, oh, I should do this and I should do that. I say to people, make a decision and be happy that you've made a decision. You either are or aren't going to go to the gym, clean the car, take the kids out, whatever. Do you know what? Make a decision and be happy you've made a decision. If you're not going to go to the gym, then put yourself out of your misery and say, I'm not going to the gym today. And then go, do you know what? I'm going to have a really nice day at home with the kids on the sofa and enjoy that. I think we rob ourselves of so much joy through this indecision. And I think it's, it's almost like the inability to make a decision is actually a decision to stay where you are, if that makes sense. So you're holding yourself in a space of indecision. We know it feels heavy. We know it feels like a weight. But not deciding to do something is a decision to keep yourself in that space. And when you look at it like that, and you think, that's crazy, right? That's crazy to hold myself in that space of apprehension, anxiety, that heavy feeling, that icky feeling. And sometimes we've just got to have the courage to make a decision. And some of you will disagree with what I'm about to say, but I don't necessarily think many of us make what I call bad decisions. Most of us will have a level of ability to think things through to a point. So, those of you that are watching this live, and Cleta and Amy and people like that I know that are watching, like, normal adult reasoned human beings, if I can call us that, when we make a decision, we will go through a process of weighing up the pros and the cons, right? But the problem is that we hold ourselves in this space of making no decision. We screw up our head, we screw up our days, we screw up our hours. When actually, do you know what? I don't think there's such a thing as a bad decision. What I think is not making a decision is a bad decision, if that makes sense. But actually, make a decision and get on with it. Because do you know what? No decision is like permanent. No decision is like forever. Unless, of course, you want it to be. And you can make a decision and then get on with it. And if it's not right, then you'll stay aware of that and then you'll change course. I think that, human beings are hugely resourceful. And I think, if you made a decision that might be, in quotes, bad decision, you'd change course, right? You'd pay attention to if what you were doing is working. And if it isn't, you do something different. And I think a lot of people spend their life making, decisions that they perceive to be life decisions when it's really not. Just make a decision and get on with it. And no decision, I think, is the bad decision, is the wrong decision, if you follow me. Now, let me know, am I making sense? Because I'm having a late night ramble. But this came up for me today, and I was just like, oh my God, people need to just make some decisions. They need to move on. Right, let me just go back through the thread. I'm so sorry, I had a little bit of a rant then, didn't I? So bear with me while I catch up. Amy's saying, I've been talking about this recently. Make an informed choice or decision and lose any unhelpful baggage. Yeah, like totally. I think that's exactly where I'm at with it, Amy. I really do. Cleet is saying so true. Caroline, nice to see you. Hi Paul, nice to see you. So I think the worst thing about indecision is keeping things open for too long, keeping things open and up in the air. And sometimes you've just got to have the courage and the bravery to make a decision. Make a decision. Those of you that have just joined now towards the end of the live, I've been talking about my decision to buy my house, the decision of a student whether or not to train with us, decisions about whether or not to do Facebook Live. Some of you on the call tonight are in my mastermind and know the challenge that I've set you and myself around doing some Facebook Lives. Know that decisions are not forever. Know that you can change course. Know that you can go and do U-turn if that's what you need, or tweak the decision. On our NLP practitioner course, which some of you watching have done, we have a specific NLP technique called the parts integration process. And this is amazing at helping people get clarity of thought. Where people are in that indecisive mode between part of me wants to do this and part of me doesn't, and a lot of indecision comes from this processing that goes on in our head, and sometimes we just need to get rid of those conflicts. We can do that with beliefs and stuff. Part of me thinks I'm good enough to go for the job, part of me doesn't. Do I go for it? Do I not go for it? And actually our unconscious mind is trying to keep us safe. It's trying to help them make the best possible decision, but sometimes you just need to be able to get the clarity of thought to make the decision and move, do something, get out of that weight of indecision when you're not fully decided. Make a decision, commit to the decision, execute the decision. And you know what? As I said earlier, if it doesn't turn out to be quite the right decision, give yourself permission to change course, to pivot, to do something different. So I don't think indecision is something that you have to live with for a long period of time. In fact, I think it's not healthy. I think sometimes you've just got to have the courage and the bravery to make a decision, execute the decision, and get on with it. And if you really are struggling with making a decision, then maybe our prac course is something that might be able to help you. Some of you on the call tonight have done our practitioner course and know all about the parts integration process. We've got a course coming up now in September. On the 8th, which is a bit late for anyone to join now, but the last practitioner course of this year will run in November. Looking at my wall calendar, starts on the 3rd of November and runs through to the 9th of November. So if that's something of interest to you, let us know, drop us a message or give us a call and just say, look, I'm thinking about it. Maybe it might help me. So anyway, the weight of indecision. Let's not stay in the state of indecision. Let's make a decision. Let's move and let's get some stuff done. That's what I'm all about. So anyway, I hope you've liked my little ramble this evening around indecision and the weight of indecision. If you don't do anything else other than watch this live tonight, make a decision. If there is something that's bugging you right now and you know you need to make a decision, then commit before you go to bed tonight. You're going to decide. Make a decision. Be happy you've made a decision and execute that decision. And do not leave yourself in the state of indecision with that weight and stress of ruminating about am I or am I not going to do it. Decide and get on with it. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to be going live on this page again for the next 4 days. I'll have a little think about what might be useful for you. I'm loving the fact that you love my ramble rant, Amy. Thank you so much. You know what I'm like? I get on my high horse. So thank you for joining me. Amanda, thank you for joining. I'm just wrapping up, so you're going to have to go back and watch it again. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I will be back tomorrow evening with another ramble stroke rant. with some advice, I hope, and something to help you. So anyway, take care, everybody. See you tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.